Hello, it's Erica here from Me To You Paper Crafts. Welcome to my YouTube channel and for another Fun Fold Friday. This time I am doing what I'm calling a surprise pop-up. So you open up the card and then this little leaf pops up. I think that is just so cute and it has an element of surprise on the inside. So this card was my prototype just to try out the whole layout and the mechanism. And I used the Love of Leaves stamp set. This is, I have to tell you, one of my favorite stamp sets from the new holiday catalog. Love of Leaves. And it comes with these beautiful dies that have stitching on the inside and the outside. So you can make some amazing leaf elements for your card. And then it also has this really interesting stitched kind of border thing, which is really, really cool to use as well. So Love of Leaves. And then I use the beautiful Gilded Autumn Designer Series paper. This paper is just, I just love this paper. It's got beautiful colors in it, and it's got the gold foil elements and just some beautiful designs in here that you can see. Just gorgeous. So that is actually my absolute favorite bundle in the catalog. Love that. But today I'm actually going to do the same card, but we're going to use Gnome for the holidays. So Gnome for the holidays, this is an adorable stamp set. If you like to color, this is an ideal little stamp set because there's lots of different coloring ideas you can do for this. Gray beards, blonde beards, brown beards, black beards, whatever you want. And it's got some really adorable adorable greetings in here. I love this, you're a friend like Gnome other. And then there's no place like Gnome for the Christmas season. Just too cute. Okay. Now, no dies for this, so if you need to do any fussy cutting, then that's what you're going to have to do, which I don't mind fussy cutting. All right, so we're going to start off with a piece of cardstock. You take your 8.5 by 11 standard cardstock sheet, and you're going to cut it down the center at 4 1/4, and then we're going to score this in half at 5 1/2, because that's half of 11. So 5 1/2, there we go. And I like to give my card a really clean, crisp edge. So I fold it over and then I take my bone folder and then I give myself a really nice crisp edge. This helps keep the card closed instead of, you know, half open all the time. Okay, now I have to create this mechanism. Now, I'm a bit of a fussy card maker. I like things to be pretty well exact, but you can just hand cut this yourself. So what you need to do is to create a little rectangle shape here at the center of where the fold is. All right, so I'm going to measure my card, and this card is center of 4 1/4 is 2 1/8. And so I'm going to find the center of this card here. So I'm just lining this up between my 1/4 inch boxes here on my grid sheet. And so this is my center here. Now don't worry about making marks on your cardstock because this is section of the card is going to get covered over by the DSP. So don't worry about marking it up. Now I would like to make about a 1 inch opening here. So I'm going to count 2 squares and put a mark here, and 2 squares and put a mark here. Okay, so this is 1 inch wide, and then I want to go up about 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to grab my ruler and I'm going to go up. I'm just going to line this ruler up with my grid sheet again. I love using my grid sheets. It's just great for all of your measuring and working things out. And that's about 3/4 of an inch, and I'm just going to draw a line across like that. Okay. Okay, so what I want to do now is I'm just going to take my paper snips and I'm going to cut up on those 2 outer marks that I made, because the middle one is the center. So I'm going to cut up to that vertical or horizontal line, and I'm going to cut up on the other one to the vertical line there. Okay. All right. So I've made this cut here, you see? Okay. So now what I do is I open it up, and in order for it to fold nicely, I want to create a couple of score marks. So you just go to the end of those, or you can line up your center again, my center score line here, and again go 3/4 of an inch out. Okay, I'm going to take my stylus, and I'm just going to create a score line right at the end of that. Okay, so this again is 3/4 and 1, 2, 3, 3/4 of an inch here, and I'm going to put another score mark in here. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that on camera, but now I've got my cuts and I've got my 2 score marks here, one here and one here. So what you basically do then is you pop this to the inside of the card. You see, just stick your finger in there and pop it, and then close the card. And because you put score marks here, it should close beautifully. Okay, just make sure everything's lined up, and then give it a press. And you could actually pull out your bone folder and give it a press here. Okay, and there you've made your opening. Now if you want to just wing it and cut and fold, that's totally up to you. You might have better success than I had, but mine kind of bent in the wrong shape, and I had cut unevenly, so it didn't work out for me for the first time. So I like to kind of do my measuring. Okay, so that's really the base of your card. Now you'll see with this card, the front gets covered with DSP, and you have to butt that DSP up right along the edge because you don't want to see the cutout. But the back, the cutout is here, but you could choose to put another piece of DSP on the back of the card if you wanted to. Okay, just when you go to glue this down, stay away from, put glue on here. So if I put another sheet of DSP on the back, it will stick to that. So when you mount your DSP on here, stay away from this area here. So what I might do is put my Tombow glue on this part of the card to stay away from gluing it down. I hope you understand what I'm saying here. Okay, so if I put tape runner or even Tombow, don't put it here, okay? Put it around the outside edges. So I'll do that now just to show you what I'm talking about. So let me pull out my tape runner, and I'll put some tape along there. That didn't come out very well. There we go. Okay, and some along this edge here. So what I want to do is I'll just put a little bit in this corner here and a little bit in this corner here, but I want to avoid putting tape, you know, in this section here. Okay, so now we're going to place this on here and get it even top and bottom, and butt it right up against the side there. Okay, so if I flip it over, see I've got no glue in here. That's what you want to avoid, so that if I do decide to put another piece of DSP on the back, it won't glue itself together. Okay, all right, so now the inside piece is cut to 4 by 4.5. So this is going to go on the inside like that, and I'm going to stamp some things on here before I glue it in. And then I just took 2 pieces of let me just grab, sorry, so this is what I'm actually going to stamp one of the gnomes and color it on here. So this piece measures 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And then I cut another piece, it's actually the other side of this mistletoe is this red. And so I'm going to actually cut a circle out of that so that I can see the white underneath. So I pulled out some of my circle framelets, and then with this other piece of red cardstock, I'm going to create a frame for that. Okay, so I will cut a circle out of here, like that, and then I will create a frame with these two nested together and create a red frame to go around it. So I'm going to go over to my Big Shot and I'll be right back. Alright, so here I have my frame. So this is going to be mounted on top of this white. So they're measured the exact same, 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And then I created a frame to go around it, like that. Okay. So I'm going to stamp my little gnome inside this circle here. And I'm just going to lightly again grab a pencil, and I just want to know where the sort of the top and the bottom of that circle is so that I can stamp my gnome in there. Okay. So let's get out my Memento black ink and let's just get myself organized here. My Memento black. I already mounted my little gnome. Because this paper is mistletoe, I chose the gnome that has mistletoe hanging from his hat. So he's the gnome I'm going to ink up. And I just want to make sure I get him within, and I don't care if his little feet are cut off. I think they will get cut off a little bit, but I'm just going to get his full hat in there. So it'll kind of look like he's peeking through this porthole that I'm creating. Okay, so that's the little gnome. And we're going to color him now. So my paper is red and green, so I might do his hat in red and green. So I'm pulling down my Stampin' Blends here. So I'll use my light real red here. So we'll start off with this part of his hat being red. Now I like to continually turn my cardstock because I'd like to be able to see the lines, to try and avoid going over the lines, because these blends can bleed a little bit, so you want to avoid going over the lines. So I just keep twisting so that I can see where I'm going. I like to have the line, how can I say that? I like to have the line ahead of the marker tip, if that makes sense. I try to make sense most of the time, but sometimes the way I explain things might not be clear to you. I'm hoping that it's clear to you. Okay, so there's his hat, and I think I'm going to do this bauble a matching. We'll make him color coordinated. Okay, so let's get out a green. I'm going to pull in, it's a retired green now. No, you know what? I'm going to use our new Just Jade green. This is a beautiful green. I was going to use Call Me Clover because I love that green color, but it's retired now. so you can no longer purchase it. But let's just use this Just Jade. This is one of our new in colors. Okay, so we'll just get that very tip of his hat. I know, I'm sorry you guys, I am a bit of a persnickety colorer. That should have been my middle name, Little Miss Persnickety. Probably behind my back, that's what my parents called me. Okay, I'm going to pull down my petal pink for his nose. And let's see, what color should I do his, looks like a dress, but it's a gnome coat. And his beard, let's do a gray beard. So let's pull down some gray. Smoky slate. Is this smoky slate or did I pull out? Yep, smoky slate. So I'm going to go over a few parts of his beard just to give it a little bit of darker and a lighter tones in his beard. Have it look like he's just come from the hair salon and had streaks put in his beard and his mustache. There we go. Now, for his coat, let's maybe do a blue color. How about that? Let's do this blue here. This blue is balmy blue. I'm going to start with the light. I always start with the light color. They come in pairs, light and dark. And I like to start with the light, and then I pull in the dark to create some shadows, or yeah, shadows. I should color his little hands maybe, although his face I'm going to leave white. So maybe I won't do that. Okay, so I'm just going to pull in the dark balmy blue and add just a bit of shading. Okay. And he's got these funny little shoes on there. I think I will do his pants, maybe the same color. Let's just put the dark balmy blue for his little pants that are underneath his shoe. And I don't know, let's color his shoes. I don't want them to be too, let's pick a brown color. This is cinnamon cider. I'll just do little brown shoes. Make him look really earthy. Okay, and I missed a tiny bit of blue on his sleeve over here. Okay. Now I'm going to bring in the jade again, and I'm going to do the little leaves on here. So luckily these blends have two tips, a bullet tip, which is what I use for coloring most things, but it's also got a fine tip too to get into those little tiny areas. Okay, and we need to do the bow. We'll do a red bow as well, and maybe I'll put some Wink Estella on the bow. Give it a bit of sparkle. And I also have a gold, is this the gold bronze? Yeah, bronze blend, and I'm just going to do the top of this little bauble. Okay, so let's grab my wink, no, we'll do the Wink Estella, you know, at the end. So let's put these markers to the side here. Okay, now I'm going to erase my pencil marks here. There we go. Let's bring in our little ring here. It'd be cute to do some little snowflakes in here, but I'd have to grab another stamp set. So keep that in mind. You could do some little snowflakes in the background here. Okay, so I'm going to put some, I'm just going to use Tombow glue for this so that I can move this around if I need to. Just a little bit of glue around here. And I made this is exactly the same size, so what I like to do is just pick up the two pieces and tap it on my desk and make sure that it's, you know, even all the way around. Okay, and then we're going to glue this ring on here just to frame him up a little bit. So I'm going to put a tiny bit of Tombow on here. Now you just get your Tombow going and then you should be able to just dab little dots. So I'm not really squeezing anymore. Well, I am sort of squeezing a tiny bit. There we go. And I like to use tweezers. And then I'm going to position this around. And again, by using the Tombow liquid glue, you can move it around a little bit if you need to. There we go. Actually, that moved on me, so let's just, I'm going to hold it in place for a couple of seconds. Oh my gosh, he is just too cute. Okay, so this piece is going to go on the front like this, and I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals. So also be aware that when you use your blends, it does bleed through. So make sure you have some scrap paper underneath it when you're coloring. I'm going to put quite a few dots on here, dimensionals, and hold it up in the center as well. Okay. I'm growing my nails out again because I think I craft better with some nails. Okay, that was a lot of dimensionals. but I think it looks good when it's popped up. So just sort of eyeball that and get it straight. There we go. So that's our card so far. Okay, now we're going to, let's put in a greeting on here. So I might do a greeting on the front and the back. So what are our choices here? There's no place like Gnome for the Christmas season. Your friend like Gnome, a little Christmas wish, holly jolly everything. So I might put this on the outside. And on the inside I will do love these cling stamps, but boy oh boy, they cling to everything. Okay, so let's see. Let's do the holly jolly everything on the outside. I might just do it somewhere on here, and a little Christmas wish we'll do on the inside. So let me just grab a block. So I'm going to line up, I actually don't need this silicone mat right now. I'm just lining this up again with my grid sheet. I'm going to grab my black ink and I'm going to center that. Okay, a little Christmas wish. And I will tape this inside the card now. So I turn it this way and then line it up along this left edge here. It's going in a little bit crooked. There we go. Okay. All right, now we have to make our little gnome to go on the pop-up here, okay? So I thought I would do this sweet little lady. She is too cute. Oh, I already have her out on a block. Okay, so let me just grab, we're gonna fussy cut her out, so I'm just gonna grab some scrap Whisper White. We've got more coloring to do. Let's get rid of all these little glue, or not glue dot, dimensional backings. Okay, so we have to do, well, of course, the tree is going to be green, so I'm going to continue with the same Just Jade color for the tree on our hat. Now, if you don't want to sit and watch me color again, you can easily fast forward on the video. I won't mind. If you want to do that, I totally understand. let's pull out some of my red, and I will just do a couple of, well, 3 little berries here. So I'm just tapping or dabbing on the color. Okay, now I need the pink for her little nose. And let's give her some cinnamon colored hair. And I think we'll do cinnamon shoes. Not that we're matching her shoes to her hair, but they're just little brown shoes. Now I'm going to keep her apron as white, and let's see. Oh, let's match her up with her boyfriend or her husband. Let's do her dress in the blue again. Okay, so we'll this is really fine detailed coloring, but if you go slow, I mean, you'll be really happy with the results. There you go. Oh my God, isn't she sweet? Okay, I think her face needs a bit of color, you guys. So I have this ivory blend. So maybe we'll do her face. Give her some color. Because she's clashing with her apron. I'll do her little hands. There we go. Oh, we have to do her baubles. So let's see, let's do these in red as well. We could do multicolored too, and we've got a star on the top. So let's do, we'll do some red. We'll do some yellow. And let's do some blue. No, let's go a bright pink. This is my Magenta Madness. I love this color. We'll put some Magenta Madness color on here. Oh my goodness, she's so cute. And then I'll just do a little bit of yellow on the star up here. There we go. Now she's going to be a bit more of a challenge to fussy cut, I think. But let's see how we go. I don't think I've fussy cut her out before. Oh my gosh, that was a lot of work, but look how cute she is. Oh my goodness gracious, she is adorable. Okay. So what you want to do now is stick her to the inside on that little pop-up. Okay, so I will just figure out where she's going to go. So you can't overlap on the left side here. You can't overlap that. Make sure you don't, because then the card won't fold, or you'll crush her. I'm going to put her up a little bit higher. I'm going to put her so that she looks like she's standing on there. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue just on the bottom half of her here, like that. Okay, and then I will place her on there. And just hold her for a few seconds. And wait for her to dry. Okay. So if you have other Christmas stamp sets, and I do have, you know, quite a few, you know, you can add some extra little pieces here. We've got some great stamp sets in the holiday catalog that have a lot of little extra embellishments that you could stamp on there. You see, so now she folds over. So there you go. A bit of glue that gushed out. Okay, so you open up the card and there she is. Isn't that sweet? I think that's really sweet. Okay, so I'm just going to add a bit of Wink of Stella. I had it out and then I kind of threw it around. What did I do with it? Oh, it's over here. Silly me. Okay, so I'm going to put a little Wink of Stella on the bow. And a little bit of Wink of Stella on the bell, or the ornament. We'll put some Wink of Stella on, maybe on the green bits of his hat. This Wink of Stella just adds a very light glimmer. Okay, and then maybe we'll sparkle up these little lights here. So cute. There we go. So there's your card for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. A little bit more work than I think I anticipated. I could have done the coloring ahead of time, but it is what it is. Oh yeah, I was going to do a greeting on the front. Okay, so I forgot that part. So let's take this Holly Jolly everything. And I haven't quite decided if I could punch him out with one of our many punches, or I could just punch this out with a little bit of maybe just a little circle, another circle here, or maybe just, oh, that's very vanilla, I don't want that. Maybe I'll just hand cut it out. Oh dear, I got some black on the bottom. So let's turn that over and do it again. There we go. I'll grab my scissors and we'll cut this out and then we'll mount this on the front of the card. Holly Jolly everything. It's just deciding where to put it. So I'm going to put a dimensional on just on the left hand side here, because this is up on dimensionals here, so I need to make this the same, on the same level. So I'll just put a little bit of glue here. And we'll put this up here. Like that. There you go. Holly jolly everything. A little Christmas wish. Very cute. I think that's very, very cute. So thank you so much for joining me. If you watched through all of the coloring, I appreciate that. And if not, that's fine too. And we will see you next time. There will be an associated blog post. The link will be down below with all of the cutting and scoring measurements. And that's it for today. Thanks again. Bye for now.